What's up, YouTube? If you're from the Midwest, you know that the fall is an epic time to catch giant smallmouth. The question is, do you know what baits to catch them on? Today's video, we're gonna go over the top 4 baits to catch giant smallmouth in the fall. Stay tuned. There's one. Doesn't feel very big though. Just a little guy. Dude, they are running right at the boat. It's so nuts. Oh, maybe a little bigger than I thought.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he threw it. Dang, dude, that was a solid 4.5.
That was good fish. That was good fish.
Solid 4.5. Dang.
Well, Jason, this is a good time to talk about swim baits. Why do you like using them in the fall?
You know, honestly, the big reason why I use a swim bait is because in the fall, a lot of times fish are grouped up together in small pods, or big pods, I should say, but they're hard to find. So a swim bait is a great tool to cover water. It's probably the first reason I use it. Second reason is a lot of time in the fall, especially when you're smallmouth fishing, they're chasing these pods of bait fish. And obviously a swim bait, I'll show you guys here in a second, is a great representation of some sort of a lake minnow, shiner, or something like that. So, kind of show you guys here. It's a really simple, easy setup. Right now I'm using an 8-pound leader, and I'm using braid as my main line. You can use 10, 12, 15-pound braid, doesn't really matter. This is a 3.8-inch Kitech swim bait. Usually the biggest I'll go for smallmouth this time of year is probably a 5-inch, and anywhere down to a 2-inch. But big thing is that paddle tail, that little wobble, that little subtle wobble this thing gives off is huge for those smallmouth. So covering water, matching the right bait profile, and it gives that great thump that smallmouth tend to love. Just switch to the swim bait. Just switch to the swim bait. Absolutely. Oh, good catch, man.
Oh,
Attaboy.
take that monster out.
Just switch to the swim bait. Just switch to the swim bait, guys, and that's what we get right there. Look at that giant. What a monster. That's
Dude,
what I'm talking about, buddy.
That's a pig. That's how we fish the fall right there.
We're out here fall fishing, guys. We've been struggling for a little while, trying to change depth, different areas. And that was my first cast when I switched to slow rolling a swim bait. And apparently that's what they want.
Yeah.
So
I'm switching.
we're gonna keep doing that.
Well, you know, everybody's got their baits, but for me, in the fall time, it's definitely got to be a jerkbait, 100%. I absolutely love the erratic action. You know, this is a great bait in the springtime, and just when those water temps drop, going down to like 55, 50 degrees, even into the 40s, this bait turns on big time. You're gonna find a lot of bass on like shelves, on drop-offs. You're gonna see them on these rock flats like we're in here, where we got wind coming in like we've got today. They're gonna stack up, and this is a great bait to go ahead and trigger a lot of bites. It's gotta be a lot of erratic action that you've got there that goes ahead and triggers those bites. But sometimes you gotta really slow it down, especially when you get into water temps below 50 degrees. Then it's a longer pause and maybe 1 twitch at a time. Right now I'm working like 2 twitches, pause, 1 twitch, pause, 2 twitches, and I just keep on that going. And I've been doing pretty good today, but this is a phenomenal bait. Always one of my go-to baits for the fall, definitely.
Is there any certain brand that you like better than another when it comes to jerkbaits?
Well, I'm partial to Strike King. I've got a ton of Strike Kings. I absolutely love them. You know, a lot of people like the like Rapalas. They love like the shadow wraps. Those are great bait stuff. I've just done really, really well, especially on the Green Bay waters with Strike King. Variety of different colors. This is a standard KVD 590. It's the special one that a lot of people will see this one here. Probably my best one is the Clearwater Minnow style. It's like a holographic, a little bit of purple in there, and purple on Green Bay, you can't go wrong.
All right, thanks,
I think we were fishing a little bit too deep, weren't we, Jason?
Yeah, I think so. We came up shallow on this little flat, and they're here.
Oh, nice. Nice fish, nice fish, nice fish. A little bit bigger than I thought. Ready? Come up. Come on. Swing it out. Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, it came right off just like that. Nice. Well, Jason just caught that one just a little bit ago on a swim bait. I went back in with the jerk bait, and bam, there we go, just like that, second cast.
Now we're on them, man.
We're on them, man.
You know, guys, when it comes to fall fishing, you know, we've been talking about a couple of different baits, and both those baits were in the moving bait category. When I say a moving bait, I'm talking about something that's gonna cover a lot of water, and a lot of fish are gonna see it, and you're gonna kind of up your chances of catching fish. Now, what happens is you'll get into a spot, you'll catch those fish that are really active, but then all of a sudden you're in this position where you know there's probably more fish and you're not getting any more bites. That is where a tube really comes in handy. Now, a tube is the bait that you're gonna use, and you're gonna pick apart every rock and every boulder, every grain of sand in the area that you're fishing. Now, the reason that a tube is so effective come fall is because crayfish tend to slow down once the water temps come down. That makes them super easy prey for a hungry smallmouth. The other thing that makes a tube really great is that not only can it be drug along the bottom, but you can also swim it. So if you're in an area, you can just change your tube out, maybe go from a green pumpkin color to a white or a silver flake, and you can swim that tube along and it looks just like a bait fish. So versatility, and you can also pick apart every area that you fish. You know, guys, rattle trap is one of my favorite fall baits, and you know, along with the swim bait and a jerk bait, it's a great bait to search with. Not only is it a great bait to search with, but it's also got a very unique action that definitely is great for cold water. And when you look at this bait, if you turn it in this way, you'll see that it can have a little bit of a shimmy like this, and that tight wobble is what fish in cold water really love. Now, on the contrary, if you take a normal lipped crankbait, that's gonna excel a lot better when it comes to the warmer water situations because it has a really wide wobble. Now, this bait specifically is made by Excalibur. It's discontinued, it's now made by Booyah, but this is a one knocker. If you can hear this, it's got a tungsten bead in here, and it's just one knock instead of BBs. I found that this one knock tends to get a lot more bites than most, and this color also. What I found is smallmouth basically hate orange. Anything orange, they want to eat it. So rattle trap is a great fall bait, great for searching, catches a lot of fish. Now's the time, guys. Get out, get your hands on one of these baits, and go catch some giant bronzebacks. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, head on over, check us out on Instagram, and hit us up on Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you on the water next time.